Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Wahyuni, number 2320055. I am from PBI 4B. In this video, I will explain about the material about sport. In the chapter 10, there is three texts. Number 1 about the ancients versus the modern Olympic. The Olympic Games were offered in the spirit of peace for the love of sport and honest for competition. Although the Olympic have changed over time, you make me surprised to learn that according to historians, there are many similarities between the original Olympic Games and the modern games. The Olympic event attends grad the 40th century. Our summer Olympic Games have been held every 4 years at the sanctuary of our ruler Zeus on Mount Olympus. As well, this year's games began with the promise of fairness by athletes and judges to Zeus. The competitions per even the pentathlon, 5-track and 5 event, concluding the discus throw, javelin throw, the long jump, running and wrestling, boxing, the 4-horse, and others. On the 5th and final day, prizes were awarded wreaths made of a special olive tree branch from the sanctuary. Women in the Olympic Games, most of the athletes at this year's events were young men, of course, even so. Unmarried girls competed in food at a festival of Hera, Zeus' wife. The politics of the Olympic, in my opinion, the most important achievement of the Olympic Games has achievement been its peacefulness not only at the Games, but in all of the Greek world. Of course, the actual event will only 5 short days. The Olympic event ends August. With a few exceptions, our modern Olympic Games have been held every 4 years in different cities around the world. This year, they again took place where they started in Greece. This year, games began with the opening ceremony. The most popular competition were aquatics, swimming and diving, athletics, basketball, boxing, skiing, and volleyball, and others. Prizes were awarded after each event. Women in the Olympic Games. Olympic include the most women athletes ever. Women participant in event such as a gymnastic. The politics of the Olympic, in my opinion, the most important achievement of this Olympic Games was its peacefulness. Okay, the next text, the title about issues on competitive sport. In the world today, the world should stop sport competition. The Olympic movement is a representative of the principle and practice of all international sport competition, but it has failed. The original ideas behind the Olympic have been corrupted and mixed. Here are some of the current problems and trends in competitive sport worldwide. Some of the most famous athletes in the world take and will continue to take banned drugs, Many observers have the same opinion. The majority of world record in recent decades were drug-assisted athletics, and the idea of wholesome international competition have become less important than the interest of TV network. Bribery and scandal have always been part of competitive sport. Okay, the last text about street sport and the Olympics. Most culture have at least one popular street sport. This is a game that children or adults might play informally whenever they can get enough player together. Typical, even the poorest members of society can play a street sport because it involves very little equipment. Okay, in the United States, for example, basketball is probably the most commonly played street sport. Since it requires only a basket, a perfect surface, and basketball, it can be played in nearly any city park or home driveway. Street sports are great for neighborhood games, but are they suitable for international competition? The controversy is less about basketball, ice hockey, or soccer than it is about other street sports. The next sport like sepak takraw are another story. Those who love this game hope to see it added to the Olympic lineup in 2008. A different kind of controversy surrounds such extreme street sport as skateboarding. On the other side, Olympic purists argue that it's very fair to keep scurvy, looks, and wild behavior out of the game. As badly as sepak takraw, players of skateboard think they are treated players of several other street sports feel they have a stronger complaint. Rugby, American football, and cricket. Okay, I think that's all. Sorry for mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.